Hello, beautiful soul. Take a quiet breath, settle into this moment, and allow yourself to be fully present. What you are about to hear is not just a prediction, it is a reflection, a revelation, and perhaps even a recognition of something your heart has already been whispering to you. Today, we are uncovering something deeply personal. Where your future husband is right now, what he is experiencing, and how close his path is to intertwining with yours. But before we speak about him, we must begin with you, because every meaningful encounter begins within. Let's step away from the physical world for a moment, not the mirror that reflects your appearance, but the mirror of your soul. Who are you right now? You've been walking through a difficult season, not necessarily loud or dramatic, but persistent, like a strong wind you cannot escape, constantly pushing against you. Progress has not come easily. In your career, your ambitions, or even your sense of stability, it feels like everything demands more effort than it should. You've been fighting for ground that once felt natural, and the exhaustion you feel, it isn't just physical. It's deeper than sleep can fix. It's the kind of tiredness that comes from carrying too much for too long without the support you truly deserve. There is a quiet longing inside you, not for something superficial, but for a presence, a steady, reliable energy. Someone who doesn't just stand beside you, but stands with you. At the same time, your life has been going through a kind of purification. People are falling away. Connections that once seemed meaningful are revealing their true nature. Some were never meant to stay. Some wore masks. Some benefited from your light without ever giving anything back. And yes, that realization hurt. But here's what matters. You didn't break. You endured. Because at your core, you are something rare. You are deeply loyal. When you love, you do so without calculation, without conditions, without holding pieces of yourself back. You are honest, sometimes painfully so. You speak truth, even when it would be easier to stay silent. And because of that, not everyone has been able to stay in your life. But your truth is not your weakness. It is your power. You are also someone who forgives, again and again. You have given chances where others would have walked away. You have believed in people long after they stopped believing in themselves. Until one day, something inside you quietly said, enough. And when that moment came, you didn't become cold, you became clear. There is also a nurturing force within you, whether it manifests as a desire for children or through your creativity, your work, your ideas. You are a creator. You give life to things. You build, you imagine, you care deeply about what you bring into the world. This is your essence. And it is exactly why the love coming toward you is not ordinary. Now, let's turn toward him, the man who is already moving closer into your life. This is not someone who has lived an easy story. He carries history. He has experienced loss, real loss. It could have been a painful separation, a relationship that left scars, or even the loss of someone deeply important to him. At some point, his world was shaken in a way that forced him to rebuild himself from the ground up. But here is what defines him. He did not become bitter. He became wiser. He is a self-made man, not just financially or professionally, but emotionally. He learned early that life does not hand out guarantees. He likely began taking responsibility at a young age, either to support others or to prove something to himself. And because of that, he carries a quiet strength. He is not loud about it, not showy, but it is undeniable. He is surprisingly warm, easy to talk to, the kind of man who can make you smile even when something inside him is heavy. He knows how to carry both lightness and depth at the same time. He is respectful, especially toward women, not in a performative way, but in a natural, ingrained way. He listens, he understands, he observes, and perhaps most importantly, he is reliable. When he chooses someone, he does not hesitate. He becomes steady, present, protective without being controlling. He becomes the kind of support you've been missing. Physically, he may stand out, tall, broad, or simply grounded in a way that makes his presence feel solid. When he enters a space, you notice, not because he demands attention, but because he holds it effortlessly. He likely has a structured life, a career where he leads, manages, or builds something of his own. He appreciates order, discipline, and quality. Even his style reflects this: classic, intentional, clean lines, well-chosen details. A man who understands presentation, but not for vanity, for identity. He knows who he is, and he is ready. Now here's where things become interesting. Your meeting will not be simple. In fact, it may begin with resistance. When your paths first cross, there will be an immediate energetic pull, something undeniable, almost magnetic, a warmth you can't quite explain. But at the same time, your mind may react differently. Old wounds will speak. Your instincts may say, be careful, don't trust too quickly, protect yourself. There could even be tension at first, a disagreement, a misunderstanding, a moment where you don't immediately like each other. Yes, something like a story you've seen before, where two people initially clash only to later realize they have found something extraordinary. The setting of your meeting will likely be formal or structured. It could happen in a professional environment, work, training, an official institution, a medical or administrative space. It may also occur during a transition moment, travel, a business trip, or a situation where you are slightly outside your usual routine. There is also a strong connection to movement and transportation. Cars, roads, journeys. He may offer you a ride, or you may meet while in transit, literally crossing paths. And here's something important. You may not currently live near each other. Different districts, different cities, possibly even different countries. Distance is part of the story, but not a barrier. Because timing, not proximity, is what matters here. The universe rarely shouts, it whispers. And if you pay attention, you will begin to notice patterns. The number 14 is significant. You may see it repeatedly, on dates, addresses, timelines. It may mark an important turning point. The number 7 is also connected to him, possibly within his birth date or something symbolic in his life. Initials may carry meaning. Letters like U, R, H, O, or S may feel familiar when the time comes. But perhaps the most powerful sign will come from something unexpected: animals. If you have a pet, especially one that is cautious or selective, you will notice something unusual. They will accept him immediately. No hesitation, no suspicion, as if they recognize something pure in him. Animals do not analyze, they feel, and their reaction will confirm what your heart already senses. You want to know when. Of course you do. But timing is not just about dates, it is about readiness. And right now, something is still unfolding. The connection is inevitable, but not premature. It will happen when something inside you has fully released the past, not forgotten, but no longer carried. The strongest indications point toward transitional seasons: spring, April, or May, a time of renewal, soft light, new beginnings, or early autumn, September, especially around the middle of the month. Again, the number 14 may appear. The day itself will feel different, bright, clear, almost symbolic. The kind of day where the air feels charged with something unseen. And when it happens, your life will divide into two parts: before and after. This is not a temporary connection. It is deep, transformative, unavoidable. A bond that feels destined. But that does not mean it will be effortless. There may be challenges, external influences, opinions from others, people who don't understand or support your union. There may be practical obstacles, distance, relocation, cultural or belief differences. You may be asked to make choices that feel difficult. But what will sustain you is what you build together. The emotional and physical connection between you will be powerful, grounding, safe, a refuge. I also see a shared home, not ordinary. A place near water, perhaps a river, lake, or sea, or near something rhythmic, like a railway, a road, a constant movement that becomes part of your everyday life, a place where sound becomes comfort, where presence becomes peace. And here is something important. When this love begins, protect it. Do not rush to share it with the world, not yet. Keep it close, quiet, sacred. Because not everyone celebrates what they do not understand. Let it grow strong before exposing it. And if fear appears, pause. Ask yourself honestly, is this fear about him or about change? Because love like this requires courage. It requires you to accept that you are allowed to be safe, supported, and deeply loved. You have both walked long paths. You have both endured. And this meeting, it is not random. It is a reward for your patience, your resilience, your refusal to become something you are not. He is already moving toward you, even now. He feels something, even if he doesn't yet understand it. And you? You are closer than you think. So breathe, live your life, stay open. And when the moment comes, open the door. Because this will not feel like meeting someone new. It will feel like coming home.